Why, hello, greetings and salutations, my friends. My name's Dave Plaskauskas. Everyone calls me Dave Plus. The students call me Mr. Plus. And you can call me any of those things you want. You can even call me Dave. Just don't call me late for dinner. So, I'm doing a course, and it is grade 11 biology, or rather, I should say, it's based on the Ontario Secondary School curriculum for grade 11 biology. And if you're studying that, you're absolutely in the right place. However, maybe you just want to do a really cool intro bio course, you're also in the right place. So let's go. I'm going to be teaching this with mind maps, and I'm going to mind map each concept as we go through. And we're going to start with a general introduction to the course. And this unit is genetics. So we're going to start with the genetics unit, if only for the reason that I just find it really interesting. Okay, so when we start with genetics, we are going to first start with early genetic theories. So we're going to be looking at basically, how did people inherit traits? What were the theories about it going back through history? And you'll notice that I talk about these theories as being pre-Mendel, because there is a post-Mendel. And if you've never heard of Mendel, Gregor Mendel, he was an Austrian monk, and he studied peas, because monks, they care about peas on earth. Well, I don't know about that for sure, but he did study pea plants, and he was an Austrian monk. And further to that, he 100% revolutionized our understanding of inheritance. So we're going to look at Mendel's genetic theory, which is really kind of our genetic theory. It's just that we've sort of added on it and built on it. And one of the biggest things that Mendel did, we're going to see in the next point on this mind map, is he helped people to understand inheritance patterns. And the word heredity means the inheritance of things. So heredity calculations would allow you to calculate, like, what are the chances of a certain trait being passed on from one generation to the next, and patterns as well. And that's where stuff like skipping a generation comes in, or dominant and recessive, or how two parents with brown eyes can have a kid with blue eyes without any cheating involved. So we're going to learn about how all those patterns work, and we're going to learn to understand that. It's pretty cool. And after we get through Mendel, inheritance patterns, the general understanding of heredity, we're going to dig down a little bit. We're going to get deep. We're going to get right into the cell. And what are we going to see? We're going to learn about DNA, which is the molecule that carries genetic information. RNA, which is the molecule that transfers that information within our body. We'll just leave it there for a bit. And generally nucleic acids, which is things like DNA. The Na in nucleic acids doesn't stand for not applicable. It stands for nucleic acid in DNA. Then we're going to be looking at the cell cycle and cell division. And that's what we talk about when we're talking about mitosis and meiosis. Now, I went to far north and I was like, mitosis or phosis? And they even split in half. But this is not cell division as we understand it. So we're talking about the cell cycle and cell division. And also, when we talk about that, we talk about something called meiosis, which is how we produce gametes, which is a polite way of saying sperm and eggs. Next is mutations and errors in mutations. So we kind of learn about all of that. And then the last thing we look at is genetic tools and analysis. Okay, so let's look at a quick recap. We're going to start by talking about early genetic theories. That's going right back to pre-Mendel. Then we've got Mendel's genetic theory himself. We're going to look at heredity calculations and patterns, DNA and RNA, and nucleic acids. Let's not forget those NAs in there. We're going to talk about cell cycle and cell division. That's your mitosis, your meiosis. Then when things go wrong, we have mutations and errors. And then finally, tools for genetic analysis, as well as generalized genetic tools. So I hope you liked the introduction to genetics. Hope you're going to stick around for the rest of the course. Peace!